welcome to All About Community. My name is Robert L. Harris, and I am your host. Today we have as our guest Kymberly Miller. Kymberly is the executive director of Fairyland. How many of you have heard of Fairyland, and how many of you have actually visited with your children? Well, I guess you don't have to have children to visit Fairyland, but it is an exciting adventure for our children. Kymberly, welcome to All About Community.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here talking with you today.
Well, we're just happy to have you because we're going to learn a lot today about Fairyland. But first, let's talk a little bit about you, about your background.
Okay.
Where did you grow up? Did you grow up here in the Bay Area?
No, I grew up as the child of a naval aviator. So my dad was in the Navy.
Navy, all right. Join the Navy and see the world.
Yeah, that's right. And so I spent most of my youth all across the eastern seaboard in the South. So I was in 7 states before I was 7.
Mm-mm.
And we finally settled when my father left the military. We settled into Minneapolis, where he started flying planes for Northwest Airlines.
Oh, he was a pilot.
He's a pilot, naval aviator. That's right.
Oh.
And so we were there until I was 17. And then I came to school here in California, in Oakland. I went to Mills College. I'm a graduate.
You went to Mills College.
The real Mills College.
And now I understand Mills College is taking
a little bit
detour.
different now. A little bit different. Yeah. Not the Mills College that I went to.
So you graduated from Mills College. Then what did you do?
Yeah. I graduated from Mills, and then I got involved in the book publishing industry.
Really?
So this is where I sort of learned to be a professional person right after college. I had a pre-legal degree. I was going to go to law school, and then last minute decided that wasn't my route. But I'm a logistics person. I like putting things together. I like making things work. And that's one half of me. And the other half of me really loves children and families. And I've been involved in youth development a long time. But preceding that involvement, I worked in book publishing. So I worked in Emeryville and North Berkeley for a small distribution firm, distributed about 100 presses. And I was director of corporate operations. So they had operations here, New York, Nevada. And so I sort of kind of managed the offices and operational procedures for the vantage point of Berkeley.
And then how did you end up at Fairyland? I know that has to be an exciting
So the step before Fairyland was I spent about 11 years in the publishing industry and spent another 11 at Girl Scouts of Northern California.
Girl Scouts. Oh.
So I worked that's where I started with working in youth development.
Okay.
And so I ended up running a girl program for 19 counties of California. And so 50,000 girls under the umbrella of Girl Scouts of Northern California. And I had a staff, and we ran programs and helped troop leaders.
So Fairyland was really just waiting for you, a person.
Yeah, I wasn't even looking for Fairyland. I really loved working for Girl Scouts, and I wasn't even looking for Fairyland. Fairyland kind of tapped me on the shoulder. I have a lot of friends who are native to Oakland. So I came here when I was 17, and I've been here since 1988. And I'm still not quite what you would consider native. But,
almost
there. Almost OG. But I have lots of friends who are, and when they saw that there was a executive director position coming up at Fairyland that was opening up, they tapped my shoulder.
Oh, good.
And they said, "You need to look at this." And I said, Look at what? I don't really understand. I had taken my child, who is now 20, to Fairyland before. But I really didn't have a clear understanding of what it would mean to be executive director of Children's Fairyland. Like, what does that mean?
And what does it mean?
Yeah, it's a lot more complex than people think. People think of Fairyland as one thing. It's a sort of a early childhood amusement park. Storybook theme park. Everybody knows the Magic Key.
So it is early childhood, is it not?
It is definitely. I think our target range is really from walking age till about 5 or 6 in the park. But really what Fairyland has done, it opened in 1950. What it's been doing since that opening, unintentionally, is really serving the entire age range of our community. So, for instance, From walking age to 5, you might come with your family and play on the storybook sets. You will get a magic key. You'll use the key, and you'll listen to stories being told to you as you interact with our exhibits. When you get beyond that age, maybe you're going to go into our children's theater at around 8. That helps build kind of the confidence and character that you manifest in stagecraft. And then maybe after that, you work behind the scenes.
And I understand the Lake Merritt Breakfast Club was involved in the early founding. Is that correct?
That's right. So
I used to be a member of that years ago.
Oh, really? Why aren't you today? I'm currently a member of that on
I was
the board.
at PG&E at the time.
Yeah.
I
Right,
had no
right.
choice.
Yeah.
But I always found it very exciting.
Yeah. Well, we welcome you back anytime. Lake Merritt Breakfast Club is one of the founders of Children's Fairyland. It was, as you must know, or you might know, the Fairyland is really, all of the assets are owned by the city. So,
and how large is it?
10 acres.
10 huge acres.
But it started out as 3.
Oh, and expanded.
Yeah, expanded over time. It was really at the whim of the Park and Rec department. They really kind of dreamt it up, and William Everett, and they.
But it's no longer under the direction of Park and Rec, is that?
So what happened in 1992? I believe Fairyland, it was established as a nonprofit organization, 501c3, taking responsibility for the maintenance and upkeep and driving the park forward.
We're going to have to go to break, unfortunately, but don't touch that remote because we will be right back with more on Fairyland. Again, my name is Robert L. Harris. I am your host, and my guest is Kymberly Miller, the Executive Director.